Alrighty, what's going on, guys? Just got back from an afternoon coyote hunt. Was unsuccessful. Tried 3 different setups. Nothing came in. So I think the only way we're going to bag any is to get out at night with the spotlight. But anyway, what you have here is one of the tools that we're using for our predator control. And as you can see, it is clear. Bolt is open. I'm not too sure what the make or what the power is on this scope. It is a 12 power, so you can zoom right in, and my chair's squeaking. This setup is on it originally from when the gun was purchased, and this is one of the original Model 700s. A lot of you guys might have seen where CNBC did a whole bunch of bullshit about how when you close it down, the gun fires on its own. Remington did their own investigation to it, and the guns that they got the reports on were pieces of shit. They weren't taken care of, they weren't maintained. This gun still looks like it just came out of the showroom. So we'll go ahead and we'll move this out of the way. But just touch base on that too. CNBC, any type of media outlet, is going to come up with whatever they want to come up with about anything that they're against, and they don't know why. But for the predator hunting, I'm just going to try some 22 long rifle. Now, some people might have issues with this, and I'm just going to point out why. And I've narrowed it down to 3, and I'm testing out a 4th ammunition to see how that performs. But the 3 that I've got in front of me are the CCI Mini Mag, the CCI Stinger, and Federal's Game Shock that they came out with for the 22 long rifle. I'll move this out of the way, and you can see the Game Shock is also a series that they carry for a 12 gauge. So the Mini Mag, I'm kind of iffy on. The only reason why I brought these along is because it is rated for varmint. It's a 36 grain compared to a 32 grain Stinger. 4 grains heavier, not that big, not that big of a difference. So these I'll probably just stick with squirrel. So I've got it narrowed down to these 2, now possibly a 3rd. Now the possible 3rd is right here that you've seen also in the squirrel videos, which I've kind of determined that these are a little bit too fast and a little bit of overkill for a squirrel. And this is the Yellow Jacket by Remington, which is a trunicated hollow point, and it is a plated brass, I think. It looks like a fucking brass plating. I'm not too sure. I'm gonna try these. The only thing that kind of makes me a little iffy about them is the accuracy of them. The accuracy is not all that great, but I'm not gonna know until you try it. So that leaves me with 2 options, obviously: the Stinger or the Game Shock. Now, the Stinger, if you're familiar with it, is 1,640 feet per second, 32 grain. The Federal is a 40 grain copper plated solid, and it looks like that. Nothing real special or anything else. But, however, when you drop down to the top, if I can get this to focus in, high velocity. So, high velocity, this thing's got to be cooking anything over, say, 1,300 feet per second. Standard 22 long rifle, I'll go just over 1,000 feet per second, or about 1,200. The Winchesters, 36 grain plated hollow point, they're 1,280 feet per second. And a lot of the difference that some people might not really agree with is it's a 22 long rifle, it's not a 22 mag. Now keep in mind, CCI's 22 mag that they have, it almost looks identical to the Stinger, and that bullet is a 40 grain, same as that Federal, and it's traveling, or supposedly has a velocity of 1,860 feet per second, which isn't that much different than the Stinger, as you can see right here, if we can focus in, of 1,640 feet per second. Now what this pretty much all boils down to is you have to be confident in the firearm that you're using. It has to be sighted in. And when it comes down to it, you can be using a goddamn cannon. If you can't place the shot where it's going to take the animal down, it doesn't matter. So I think for long distance, I'm going to stick with the gun that I just showed you here, or the good old Model 94 Winchester. And for anything from 50 yards closer, I'm going to be testing out the Federal Game Shock and the CCI Stingers. So, with that said, I'm giving you guys a deal of what we're working with here for some predator control. It's almost at 6 minutes. Feel free to leave your comments, or if you've tried using your own 22 long rifle for any predator control, comments are always welcome. Drop a line. As always, be safe, have fun, and good luck.